Hey y'all, my name is Liz and I am so excited that this is my first ever booktube video. I have been making book talks and bookstagrams for a while now, and I was like, you know what, 2025, new year, new me, let's jump into it, let's get it started. So I wanted my first ever video to be more of like an introduction video and to kind of introduce you to me and kind of get my feet wet on what it is to be a booktuber and talk to a camera for more than just 30 seconds. So bear with me if this is a little awkward and we don't really know what we're doing. So as you can tell probably by the title, I hope, this is a booktube newbie tag. So I saw this and I wanted to try it. So let's get into it. Question 1. Why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I am a big reader and I am that reader friend that you can always text or call and be like, oh my God, I need a book for this occasion. And I have always got one locked in the chamber ready to give you a recommendation. And so all of my friends for the last couple of years have been like, Liz, like, why don't you just like make a booktube? Why don't you talk to people about the books that you're reading? And I was like, I don't know, I'm nervous. I don't know how to talk to a camera. Well, it's 2025, new year, new me, let's do it. 2, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube, booktube? I think here's the thing, I don't know. I just want to maybe give you book recs that you've never heard of before. I want to give you recommendations of things that I love, and maybe also share some things about being in your 20s, being a girl who lives in a world and is trying to work full-time and be a reader and make content and be married and have a life, but I also want to share that with all of you. Question 3, so what are you most excited about for this new channel? I'm excited for the community that it could bring, and my hope. I have met some of my closest friends on Bookstagram and Book Talk, and you know, reading has brought me together with so many people that I love and I know, and I want to be able to continue that and bring others with me. Why do you love reading? I think my love of reading really comes... Question 4 is, why do you love reading? I think I love reading because I started reading really young when I was with my mom and my dad, and they always read to me, and my brother read, and I think reading just became something that we did. And I love finding a world and a story where I can really immerse myself into that and become that character. I grew up as a theater kid, theater nerd, choir nerd, and reading was something that I could do on long trips, backstage, do those things that kind of helped me keep my focus and helped me really stay calm and grounded into the world that I live in, because I was experiencing things with others, if that makes any sense at all. Question 5, what book series got you into reading? I don't know if I would say I have a book series that got me into reading, but one thing that when I really jumped back into reading as an adult was I reread The Hunger Games, The Maze Runner, and Percy Jackson all in the year 2023. I reread all of those books because I was like, I just want to feel like that kid again who could sit with a book for 7 hours and just like zone into it. And I reignited that flame and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. And then also, so I identify as a lesbian, and when I figured out that there was sapphic romance out in the world, I thought forever that I was like a non-romance reader. I was like, nobody likes romance. Who actually reads that stuff? Poof, not me, whatever. Then I found sapphic romance and I was like, oh my God, like there are books that represent me in my community out there in the world. I have to read them. And so I did. And I became obsessed with them. And so now I read mostly only sapphic romance if I'm going to do just like a straight fluffy romance. LOL, straight fluffy romance. If I'm just going to do like a fluffy romance, I will usually pick a sapphic romance. But for some of like my fantasy romance, or some of those other ones, they're typically like non-sapphic romance, which is fine. But the more sapphic fantasy romance that I can find, oof, I'm gonna eat that shit up. So if you have recs, drop them below. What questions do you want to ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my gosh, I think I want to ask them like, how do you just sit and you know, talk about the books all day long. I wish that I could sit here and eloquently give you a review. I think it's something that I'm working on, and being able to like talk about the things that I liked about a book. But I'm going to be honest, like I'm that kind of person who just like, I read a book, I watch a TV show, I watch a TikTok, and then I'm like, gone, poof, bye, out of my head forever. So I'm like, how do you remember to talk about the story, talk about what happened? Do you have to make notes? I think I want to ask them about their process. I've listed some of my favorite booktubers down below because I just like watching their content. I also want to know how you do a reading vlog, because like, how do you do a reading vlog and forget to not read? Does that make sense? No. Okay, whatever. What challenges, question 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I don't like editing. Is that bad? And I think I'm also going to get really in my head if like I'm getting a lot of negative comments. I think I don't quite have a thick skin built up for that yet. I don't know. I don't know if I see a lot of challenges. I think just doing it and remembering to do it is going to be a big challenge. Yeah. Question 7 is, where do you read? Okay, so this is so funny. So my wife and I go to bed really early, right? So she is like a in bed, 9 o'clock, head hits the pillow and is asleep kind of person. I am not that way. So we go to bed together. So I go to bed, and that's usually when I get most of my reading done, is I read usually from like 9 p.m. to like midnight. And so with that reading schedule, which is super weird, I read a lot on my Kindle, and I also read in the evenings after work. I listen to audiobooks either when I'm working out or when I'm driving or any of those things. So I really read anytime, anywhere. I always have a book on me, so I'm ready to continue a journey that I'm on. And what does your book collection look like? Okay, so my book collection. So this is my little shelf of my books. I have more books, but this is all books that I have read and that I own. I have another shelf over here that I can't show you because my house is too messy. On my other shelf is all of the books that I want to read. So my hope is we just got married in July, and we got a bookshelf for one of our wedding gifts. And so one of the videos that I want to make moving forward is I'm going to build my bookshelf, and then like you can help me build my, put all my books together and all of that stuff. So I'm really excited. But this is my current library. It's small, but I love it. And it's all books that I've read and that I've loved. Because if I don't love a book, I don't keep it. Because I think, why would you keep it if you don't love it? Right? Right. Well, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you stayed for the whole thing. If you did, please leave a flame emoji in the comments. And I hope that you'll stick with me and like and subscribe. Put on notifications, whatever you need to do, because I am so excited to start this journey. Okay?